So let me ask y'all this question: if Patrick Mahomes wins 2 more Super Bowls, would that be enough for him to become the GOAT?
No, because he still won't have more than Tom Brady.
So
the numbers matter.
It does matter, but he has to tie him or pass him for him to be the GOAT.
Yes. How do you pass somebody who you have less? How are you better than somebody who you have less rings than?
Well, then I think that's where this question
how are you the
You got to
GOAT?
look at his game then, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at the game.
We're not.
But I'm saying
we're just going ring for ring.
No,
because he specifically said if he gets 2 more, will he pass Tom Brady?
Yeah.
How?
Because I do think it matters, but it's not the end all be all.
Yeah.
Because like as the quarterback, a lot of their success is in his hands, but there's other people that needs to contribute to a Super Bowl. Head coach, general manager, ownership. Are they going to cut the check and invest in the team the way they need to? And then you got other players, right? Like hell, Tom Brady, he could have won 2 or 3 more Super Bowls if the receiver caught the ball, or you know what I mean. This guy
didn't have to face the Giants.
Give up the an interception, right? Like the Giants. He lost 2 versus the Giants because of the offensive line couldn't hold up against OCU Mayor and Michael Strahan.
Correct. Yeah.
So Ashley, I don't think he needs to. That's why I asked the question, because I don't think he needs to have 7 Super Bowls to pass Tom Brady. I just look at like his talent.
But you know what? I remember this conversation from me and Ashley with Jordan and LeBron. Ashley is going to lean into those stats. So I respect her point.
You have to. Like, okay, if LeBron wins 1 more, if LeBron wins 2 more rings, let's just play that game. Because you said 2 for Patrick Mahomes. If LeBron wins 2 more rings, is he the GOAT compared to Jordan?
It's a better conversation.
Does he surpass Michael Jordan?
Yeah. No, I think Jordan has 6, right?
6.
Yeah. Yes.
And LeBron has 4.
Let's say LeBron has 7. I still think it's a debate.
Well, no,
I'm
that's
still
bad.
leaning towards Michael Jordan.
Let me rephrase that. It's bad because LeBron has 4, Jordan has 6. So if he gets 2, you could make that argument because it's 6 and 6.
Correct.
Patrick Mahomes thing, I need a number less than that because Patrick Mahomes would still have less.
Yeah, but my whole thing, I like your question though.
If LeBron gets 1 more, let's go 5 and 6.
Yeah,
is he the GOAT?
That's why I said he can have 3 more. He can pass Jordan, and I'm still going to lean to Jordan.
So where's the argument come from?
I'm looking at it's everything. I think you got to account for, the skill. I think you got to account for the wins. I think you got to account for clutch. I think you got to account for their flair, their swagger. Like, I think all of that matters in the conversation. It's not just pure wins and losses or championships or not. I think all of that we have to account for. So when it comes to LeBron and MJ, it's an argument. It's a real debate right now. Hell, I truly believe you can throw Kobe in there. That's a real conversation. That's a real debate. It's hard to knock MJ off because of he was the first, like the shoes, the whole I want to be like Mike thing. Like
nostalgia.
He just took over a whole country, the whole world for real. So when it comes to MJ and LeBron, to me, clutch. MJ is just like one of the he's probably the most clutch athlete ever. That's over Tiger Woods. That's over Serena Williams. That's over Tom Brady. I don't think we've ever seen a more clutch athlete on this planet.
I mean, it's just, I hear what you're saying about Patrick Mahomes, but I mean, Brady, when he was winning those rings, let's take rings out of the equation because, you can't just only lean into the rings when you're talking about the GOAT conversation. When he was winning those rings, the seasons he was winning those rings, those stats were insane.
Yeah.
Like, insane. Were they not?
Yeah, my question
would say
the things he was accomplishing were insane.
No. Drew Brees' numbers was insane. Peyton Manning's numbers were insane. So their numbers, they had some crazy years.
You don't think that some of those years that Brady was winning those rings, that his stat lines were crazy?
No,
the things that he was doing were insane?
I don't. It's crazy. Like, it's a great question. When I think about insane, that's why I asked the question about Patrick Mahomes and I threw him in there, is because when I think about insane, like big plays, the crazy stat lines, I think about Peyton Manning, I think about Drew Brees, I think about Patrick Mahomes. When it comes to Tom Brady, it just comes down to getting the job done. Sometimes he'll go out there, he might throw for 400, but there's sometimes they go win and he throws 475 and 3 touchdowns, right? So Tom Brady to me is just like winner. That's what I look at Tom Brady as, like, not a guy that goes out there and it's just like, we got to
It's not glitz and glamour, but when you get into the efficiency of it and the magic of it and some of those late drives and some of those overtime wins and some of those wins when they were down multiple possessions. I mean,
that's right.
It was unreal. Like,
right.
It was a level of clutchness that I think that we've only seen in spurts throughout the NFL. And he was doing it on a consistent seasonal basis.
But here, let me give you guys some inside information here. People like, Brandon, we know inside information. But here's how Tom Brady did it. And a lot of people, right, it's like dink and dunk. So, yeah, he had, at the time, he had Randy Moss and he had other receivers outside. But the way he got it done was throwing it to his slot receivers and his tight ends. So Tom Brady dropped back, and Tom Brady he's taking what you're giving him. So a lot of times those running backs, the flare routes to the flat, right, the little Texas routes and option routes, that's how he got it done. Tom Brady made you stop him. He was willing to go 12, 13, 14 plays to get the job done. Now, when you think about the Drew Brees and the Peyton Mannings of the world, they're out there in or out going for it, right? So Tom Brady got it done, just dinking and dunking. And some people around the league didn't respect it at the time. It's like, oh, shit, here we go. We playing against Tom Brady. You know, if you got to try to stop the running back, got to try to stop Wes Welker. Then there was Julian Edelman. That's really how he got it done. And now more quarterbacks are embracing that. That's where Patrick Mahomes, that's where he was struggling. Remember last year at the beginning, was it beginning of last year or the year before? I think it was last year, where he was struggling. People were stopping him. Why? Because he kept going for the home run. He was out there trying to have the wow factor every time, and he wouldn't take what the defense was giving you. They're taking away, Travis Kelce. They're taking away, the big posts or the go routes that you want to throw. Take the running back. Take what they're giving you. And so, he became more efficient there.
I just think also what Brady did, especially during those Patriot years, was so impressive because it was, when you talk about Drew Brees, when you talk about Peyton Manning, when you talk about Patrick Mahomes, not taking anything away from them. Peyton Manning's my favorite quarterback of all time. I've said this before. Patrick Mahomes is a magician. I love watching him play. But we're talking about top draft picks. Tom Brady was 199 in the draft. And that's why when I say that his stats are insane, I'm also including where he was drafted.
Right.
How people so underestimated that talent and so underestimated his capabilities. And then you see him go out there, and it wasn't a fluke. Because some people could say, if he had one good season, it was a fluke of a season. He did it consistently for 20 years. Like, that's insane. Yeah. To be able to do that consistently, season in and season out, and win ring after ring after ring, and break records, Patriot records, NFL records, postseason records, Super Bowl records, and to do that as you're aging, and to do that when you were a bottom draft pick, it's insane to me.
Yeah. So to lean into your point here, Tom Brady passing yard leaders. Obviously, some guys played longer than others. Tom played for a very long time. Tom Brady, 89,000 career passing yards. Drew Brees, 80. He's number 2, second. 80,000 career passing yards. Remember that era that Drew Brees went through where it felt like every other game he was breaking some record?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I remember that one year in particular.
That 1 year was crazy.
Peyton Manning, your favorite quarterback, 71,000 71,000 career passing yards. And then you have Brett Favre at 4 with 71,000. This is interesting to me. Where's Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers is at 9 with 59,000. I thought he would be higher on the list because what he played 15 years? It's been 15 or 16 for Aaron Rodgers.
Those last 4 though.
You have Matt Ryan. Hold on, let me finish this. So Brett Favre is at 4, Ashley. At 5, there's Ben Roethlisberger, 64,000. And then at 6, you have Phillip Rivers, 63,000. Matt Ryan, Matty Ice, put respect on his name. Why do we keep disrespecting Matty Ice? Like, he is so disrespected. 62,000 yards. Dan Marino at 8, 61. And then Phillip Rivers at 9 with 59,000. And guess who's 10? And I'll stop here because I may be boring you guys. Can you guess who's 10?
Is it a current quarterback?
No, he just retired a couple years ago. I actually played with him. Another trivia question. I played with him.
You played with him?
I played with him.
All right, let's go through all 30 plus teams,
y'all.
y'all.
Another one. May have not caught a lot of balls from him, but I caught a ball or two from him. Who's at 10?
Don't say Russell Wilson.
No, Russell.
Jay Cutler?
No, it's
It's always
Eli
been guessed.
Eli Manning. Right? I forgot.
Isn't that are you surprised about that? 10 all time?
No.
I think he's like Matt Ryan. He's a guy who's just slept on.
People sleep on him.
Past
He's a great
TDs. I won't go through the whole
Nobody
list.
sleeps on Eli Manning.
They don't give him the credit he deserves, though.
I mean, we could get into that's a different conversation.
Right,
we can get into that conversation, but nobody sleeps on him.
Okay.
Passing TDs, and I won't bore you guys. Go ahead, Will. You wanted to jump in?
I was just gonna throw this out. I thought this was crazy it was earlier when you guys were talking about comebacks, but Brady in his career had 46 fourth quarter comebacks, 58 game-winning drives, and just for comparison, so far Aaron Rodgers in his entire career has 21 comebacks and
Look
31.
at that. That's what I'm talking about.
It's
like
crazy.
When we talk
Aaron
about
Rodgers was blowing people out.
No, but what I'm talking about
Yeah, that's true,
insane
too.
numbers. They may not be like the Patrick Mahomes, like behind the back, through the leg, behind the head, close your eye, one like it won't. It may not be all of that. So maybe it doesn't get the same. When you say insane, maybe some people are like insane. But like when you actually dive into the numbers and you think about the level of efficiency and consistency, I don't know how you can say that Brady doesn't have insane numbers, doesn't have an insane record book.
Yes.
Like
He played a very long.
mind-blowing.
He played a long time, and he put up numbers. But we know Peyton Manning as the general. He's a general because he's out there just chopping and dicing up people, and he was throwing. Same thing when it comes to Drew Brees, just like, man, just airing it out. Tom Brady is just like whatever they need to do to get it done. And so, and I try to give a little bit of insight there where it was dink and dunk. It wasn't all these amazing big plays. It was dink and dunk, and then they'll take their shots. But, obviously had a phenomenal career. And he is my GOAT, Ashley. All this started by me saying, oh, if Patrick Mahomes, if he wins 2 more, can he dethrone Tom Brady? And I think he can. I think he can. But really quickly, touchdown passes. Tom Brady, 649. He's number 1. Drew Brees is at 2. So that's touchdowns. We talked about passing yards. What else? Touchdowns, scoring, rush, receiving, pass. Well, I guess that's it.
Well, I got a question, Brandon. So with that, you're banking on Patrick Mahomes to be up there at the top of all of these lists by the end, right? Is that what you're going to be using really to justify, if he does add 2 more Super Bowls?
It's going to be hard, right? Tom Brady played, 21 years? Was it 20 or 21?
20. I think it was 20 years.
20 years. So that's what he's battling.
I got 23.
23 years?
Yeah, because it was 20 with New England, 3 with Tampa.
Whatever. It's all
Wait,
the same.
pause for a second. So you're saying that Brady's your GOAT? Just pause, pause the convo. You said Brady's your GOAT.
Yeah, Tom Brady's my GOAT.
But I thought you said that the GOAT resides on the defensive side of the game, the defensive side of the ball.
What I'm saying is, if we want to be, if I do believe that. I said I'm lazy. Remember, I said I'm also lazy. I think it's easy for me and all of us to say Tom Brady is the GOAT, because we were talking about Jerry Rice. But if we really do the work and we try to, it's hard. Like, how do you track the impact LT really had on the game, or Aaron Donald or Reggie White? Yeah. But if you really sit down and do the work, I think we're going to find that the GOAT resides not only on the defensive side, but on the defensive line, because a defensive lineman, this is what we talked about, I think it was Monday. Yeah, a defensive lineman, I saw J.J. Watt wipe out our whole offensive line. Not just our tackle and a guard who was comboing or doubling him. We also had a running back stay in and try to chip. But I saw this dude take one side and push it all the way to the other hash mark. Never seen anything like it. We couldn't run, we couldn't pass, we couldn't do anything. And so guys like that, they can really dominate a game. Let me ask you this question, and then we can move on. If Aaron Donald wasn't on the Rams, do they still win the Super Bowl?
No.
That's correct. Not even close.
They don't.
They're probably a 500. They would probably have been a 500 team without Aaron Donald.
He made so many plays that year.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. I mean, didn't he seal the Super Bowl for him?
You got to put. You can't. 2 guys don't work. 3 guys.
Yeah.
Him and that OBJ touchdown, I think, sealed it.
Yeah.
That was the touchdown he had before he went out, right?
Right. It was the touchdown that they had really to put him up, and then Donald got the sack to just seal it, and they got the ball back.
That's really what killed it.
Yeah. No, but I hear you on this argument though, Brandon, because I feel Patrick Mahomes, like, again, it's gonna be really hard to dethrone Brady, but you can argue that, let's say he does come close to the amount of rings that he's able to get, he's definitely more talented than Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
We got to give him that.
More talented athlete, for sure.
So at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes might be that guy. Brandon made the point that Tom Brady is the guy you just know of just getting the job done. But Patrick Mahomes, he's proven to be a guy now. You know, he's in the process of doing it, but he can get the job done. But he can also do it. He can also do it by putting up numbers. Though.
I'll never resort to just diminishing Brady to just the guy who gets this job done. That's like a Jimmy Garoppolo.
But like
Jimmy Garoppolo is the quarterback who just gets the job done.
Well, no,
that's not Brady.
No, because that's my argument for like Jordan and why he's the GOAT. He got the job done. Like he got 6 rings. He got it done during his era. Like that's what Brady did.
No, but when
during
you say,
his era, he got the job done. Like
when you say just
Brady.
got the job done, that's a quarterback who just goes through the motions and does just enough of him to win games. That's a Jimmy Garoppolo. That's an average quarterback. There was nothing about Brady that he did things that you have only seen in video games sometimes, and it may not be in the athletic, sexy way that like Patrick Mahomes does it. But when we've seen it, I mean, this is a guy who came back down from 28.
Yeah, but that's what it is, though. That's
like
that's what it is. It's like he's making the right decisions.
Who sat on the sidelines watching that Super Bowl slip through his fingers and said, "All right," and put the mechanical eye on the Cyclops, just like Mega Eye, and said, "Now watch me carve you up." Like, it was insane.
No, you're right.
But it was insane.
All I can say is that it's early, right? It's early. Patrick Mahomes only in year,
right.
what, like
No,
6,
it is early.
That performance you're talking about happened, you know, in what, 2017? Brady's already in the league for, you know, I don't know how many years.
I got a fan pointing out that this conversation actually started with Bill Belichick and Andy Reid.
Which, by the way, I hated my analogy in my head. The NBA NFL crossover made sense, but like out loud, it didn't make sense. So my bad.
Shout out B Morale.
Because like it didn't really make sense. Like maybe I didn't vocal like the Phil Jackson, Bill Belichick, and Steve Kerr. Like
No, it made sense.
It kind of made sense,
when it got changed to Kerr,
Steve Kerr was a better comparison than Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah. I'll say this because some people said Jabril Yazir said B Marsh be flip flopping, and then you have Jabril Yazir say again. So clear it up, Brandon Marshall. Like damn, why you? Oh, that's how I feel when I call him Steven Jackson.
Now you know how it feels.
Now I know how it feels. Why are you calling me Brandon Marshall? He says, so clear it up, Brandon Marshall. Who is the NFL GOAT? It's Tom Brady because it's Tom Brady, but I want to stop being lazy. I want to really look at it. Like, look at some of these players. Could Jerry Rice really be threatening Tom Brady? Or is he the GOAT? Is Reggie Wayne the GOAT? Is Aaron Donald? Well, I think he got to play a little longer. Because it's also about sustained success as well. Tom Brady did it for 20-something years. But the way he impacted the game thus far, what year is this for Aaron Donald? 10? Could he be in that? LT. You mentioned LT Monday.
I got 9 right now.
Some people have LT as the GOAT. So that's where I'm at. Hopefully that's not too flip-floppy-ish.